This is a glute medius cable kickback. This variation targets the glute medius, the upper outer portion of your glutes that work to lift the leg out to the side and also to keep your pelvis stable when you are standing on one leg. A traditional kickback goes straight behind you and mainly targets the glute max. But this variation uses a more diagonal kick angle to shift more of the weight onto that side glute. With the cable set low at ankle height, resistance increases as the leg moves far away from the stack. This places the most challenging part of the exercise near the top of the movement when the hip is abducted and the toes slightly pointed out. For setup, set the cable just above ankle height and attach one of your ankle straps to the cable machine. Your standing, non-working leg should be closest to the cable and offset slightly so that the working leg can sweep across your body at the bottom position. So if your right leg is working, your whole body will be slightly to the right of the cable column. This is an optional step, depending on what gets you the best engagement. You can either pivot both feet around 30 degrees away from the cable column or stay more forward facing. If you do pivot, your working foot should not be pointed straight forward, but slightly turned out away from the cable machine. From the starting position, the working leg should be crossed slightly in front of the support leg. Think about closing the thigh gap and bringing the working foot slightly over your standing foot to create a light stretch in the glute med before each rep. From there, drive the leg out and back in a diagonal close to about 45 degrees. Stop the movement around knee height or when you reach full extension. The point is not to go as high as possible. Going higher than necessary often shifts the work into the low back or turns it into momentum instead of mechanical tension, which doesn't do anything for muscle growth. Keep your core engaged throughout the entire movement so the pelvis stays stable and your lower back does not arch or tuck under at the bottom. Pause briefly near the top, then return the leg slowly to the cross position and avoid letting the weight stack touch at the bottom to maintain tension throughout the entire rep. The movement should be controlled, not swung. If your working foot is running into the floor at the bottom, you can place a small plate under your standing foot to create some extra space. Let's go over some common mistakes. The most common mistake is arching your lower back or flaring your ribs up to get the leg higher. This shifts the work away from the glute med and onto the lower back. The goal is not to get the leg as high as possible, but to pull the leg back using your glute. Another common mistake is swinging the weight. If you cannot control the lowering phase, the load is too heavy. Reduce the weight and prioritize a slow, controlled eccentric on your reps, almost like you're resisting the pull on the way back. And lastly, leaning excessively into the machine for support can disrupt your alignment. You just need a very light forward lean.